If the fingers in your left hand keep collapsing when you're fretting a note, or you're just struggling to hold down notes cleanly, it's not because your fingers are weak, it's because something in your hand position is forcing them to collapse. And there are 3 really common reasons for why this happens. So today, how about we fix those collapsing fingers? Think of your fingers like building a bridge. With the right shapes and angles, you can make a bridge that's 10 times stronger without changing the materials. You don't need steel that's suddenly 10 times stronger than steel. But most guitarists try and do the opposite. They keep the same weak structure in their hand, but try and build stronger fingers. And I don't know about you, but I prefer working smarter and not harder with my technique. So through this video, all I want you to do is check which one of these might be happening to you. You can pick up your guitar and check as we go, or save this video, come back to it later when you have your guitar in hand. So let's jump into it. Cause number 1 is death grip on the neck. If your thumb is hooked over the neck like this, look what happens. Hand is up. We've got tons of space in the hand, the thumb's not hooking. As soon as the thumb hooks round, the fingers go flat, and this is going to collapse your fingers. You no longer have that curve that we want that gives you that strength. You don't need to choke the neck, your thumb is not there to squeeze, it's just there to support. If we look at the shape of your hand with your thumb and finger just pinching together naturally, your thumb reaches the tip of your finger. So when we put this on the guitar, you'll have your thumb directly behind the note that you're playing on the neck. So when my finger's on the neck here, my thumb's going to be directly behind that note. We don't want it reaching any further back. So try this. Take your thumb up completely and press 1 or 2 notes down and feel how the pressure changes. This is where you'll find your natural hand position. You can see my hand's opened up more, it's lifted off the neck. Now, without changing your guitar or your hand position at all, just place your thumb at the back of the neck. We don't want your hand compromising your hand position, just place it there and keep your hand in that same natural position. You'll find not only does the note not need nearly as much pressure as you might think, but your thumb hooking over the neck is flattening your fingers, compromising your hand, and getting your fingers to collapse. Cause number 2 is your knuckle position. If your hand feels cramped or your fingers are collapsing as soon as you're pressing down on the strings, look at the knuckles over here, the ones right at the base of your fingers. If that knuckle drops behind the level of the strings, you lose all the space in your hand. Over here, you can see I want tons of space in my hand. As that drops down, that space goes and the finger has to compensate. Your middle joint starts to overly bend and the tip of your finger then collapses. So as the knuckle drops back, you get that overbend in this knuckle and we get the collapse in the next knuckle down. Now, by lifting our knuckles slightly higher than the level of the strings, it doesn't have to be very high, just a little bit higher than the string level, you'll see my middle joint, it's now gentle curve. The joint at the end of my finger now also has stopped collapsing. What you're aiming for is an equal bend across each one of those joints in the finger, and this is what gives you that curved strength like the bridge we're talking about, and your fingers don't collapse. Side note, this is where pull-offs and hammer-ons feel weak and awkward, because if your fingers don't have the space to move in your hand, these extra techniques become a lot harder. Cause number 3 is your elbow position. Now, this is one that almost nobody talks about, but let's say your thumb's in the right place behind the neck, your knuckle is slightly above the strings, those are all set properly, but in a chord, you might hold 2 notes on and one of them just keeps collapsing. That's a sign that your elbow is not in alignment. Your elbow controls the angle your fingers approach the neck, so if that's out of position, one finger can end up straight and really stretching for the note, while the other one ends up too bent and collapsing. Of course, this is exactly what we want to avoid. Ideally, you want to approach a chord so that your fingers all have an equal bend, and that is created by your elbow getting the angle of approach you need into the string. As you can see, by lifting my elbow up, this finger now has a very similar bend to that one, whereas if it's dropped down and out of position, we have a collapsing finger and a stretching finger, which is not what we're looking for. Each one of these causes for someone's finger and knuckle to be collapsing, you can see, has nothing to do with strength, but is entirely about technique and position in your guitar's left hand. It's getting the correct angle that will open up your guitar technique. So if your fingers keep collapsing, it's most likely one of these 3 causes. So have a look at your hand and tell me which one of these you notice in your playing the most, because if you can find what's causing the problem, then you can start to fix it, and your hand will feel completely different as you start getting these positions in place. It's all about reducing what we're doing and just having the correct alignment, the correct movement, so the simplicity in your technique has tons of potential. Tell me in the comments which one of these made the biggest difference for you, and if you want to dive deeper into these ideas, I break them all down inside my free community, the link's below, so come join and let's push forward your playing. Also, if you want to see a video about the main things that cause people pain in their playing, if it's wrist, shoulder, check this video out here where I break down the key reasons that you might be finding cause you pain. I'll see you in there.